Rayola Brown joins me. She is Bobby Brown's sister and Whitney's former sister-in-law, and you were also Whitney's assistant for some years, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to get your take on this. What do you think?
You know, when I first heard the news that...
I can see you're upset.
Yes,
Still upset.
I am. I really am, because I think it's what I said it was in the beginning. When I first seen this, and I saw the news, and and I'm sorry, please excuse me, I just have to come out and say this.
Please.
I saw RayJay coming out of the hotel, hiding his head, being pushed into the car. Why? I looked and I said, why is he hiding? Why is he hiding his face? He's always trying to show his face when he's around Whitney. Why now? Why are you trying to hide now, RayJay?
Yes, guys, you heard that right. Now, first of all, it was Whitney. Now RayJay has moved over to Wendy. Guys, this is becoming so apparent. And this right here is not a game. This is very real. Although we have to keep it at alleged on YouTube. Now, we all know that Whitney Houston passed away. And at that time, RayJay was seen getting into the car at the hotel. However, it was stated that RayJay was going around telling everybody that he and Whitney were an idol. Now, Bobby Brown's sister Leola claims that RayJay was one of Whitney's runner boys. Oh, I'm going to show you guys that he was more than just a runner boy. Now, y'all see RayJay in the picture. Like I said, I did a video about him and Young Buck, and this should furtherly prove, yes, it should, that RayJay is a homosexual. Plain and simple. He got his little purse on, honey, then put the little gold on top of his head, and everything else is going on. He got on his sister Brandy's house shoes. Okay, and he decided to go and escort Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has bodyguards, but RayJay is nobody's bodyguard, okay? Now, allegedly, it appears to me, in my opinion, that Wendy Williams is back on the booger sugar. Yes, indeed. She is back on the booger sugar. She done lost her husband. He was cheating. He has a child outside of their marriage, and everything else is going on with Wendy. Debrett just, got outrageously disrespectful with her, in my opinion. It was a conversation that was had, but it was unnecessary, but it was necessary for Debrett to keep it real. Now, we all know that RayJay is bad news. And why is it? Why is it that he loves to go and cling to these older women and make himself feel important, like he's a hero, and he's doing them a good justice? Because we all know that he did not do Whitney Houston any justice on that day. Now, in my opinion, there is a lot going on with Whitney and RayJay. So at that time, when all of a sudden everybody started seeing RayJay out with Whitney, it came close to Whitney's demise. So at that night, in my opinion, I'm just going to put it like this. I'm not going to go and read any articles. I'm just going to tell you guys what I've investigated and what I weighed in on about the situation. Now, there was a video when Wendy came into the dressing room and Monica was there and Brandy was there, and she seemed wet. She seemed like she had been either profusely sweating, or either she was going for a swim, or either she was in the tub. I don't know. She was soaking wet, and she gave Brandy a letter. She gave Brandy a letter, guys, and no one is putting that together that, guess what? Brandy is RayJay's, their sister and brother. So how is it that RayJay was at the hotel that night and he met up with Whitney, whatever happened, and then Whitney ended up giving Brandy a note? Whitney gave Brandy a note stating to her, in my opinion, if something happens to me, your brother did it. That's just my opinion, guys. People were saying that RayJay was Whitney's handler. Leola Brown believes that RayJay was Whitney's runner boy. Yeah, that could have been possible, but someone wanted Whitney Houston dead, and they sent RayJay. Allegedly, guys, okay? So, yeah, whatever was on that note, it wasn't anything personal that Whitney had to say to Brandy about anything else. It was about her goddamn brother RayJay. Put it together, guys. So everybody wanted to know what the note was about. Just believe RayJay's name was in that note. And that's why Brandy never came out and said anything. She knew that her brother is crazy and was crazy, or was a part of something much bigger than Whitney Houston. So now we see that he's out with Whitney Williams. How are these two things connected with Whitney Houston? As we all know, Whitney Houston had a drug problem, and so did Whitney Williams. She came out and said that she had a cocaine problem. So is Wendy back on the coke? That is a good question. But however, is Wendy Williams gonna get ready to go out next? So everybody knows that RayJay is the little shop of horror of Hollywood, with the women and with the men, but mostly with the men, okay? It's just not brought out. Okay, so we know about him and Kim Kardashian. We know about him and supposedly Whitney Houston. Now he's on Whitney Williams' jock. So Wendy Williams, y'all, she's lonely. She's come to the end of her surface. And now, okay, what they did, they had brunch. And so Wendy RayJay wanted to boast about that. They wanted it to be known that, hey, we went out to brunch. Who cares? But we know that RayJay likes the booger sugar too, so I'm sure they had a little sugar with their tea at their brunch, okay? And so in my opinion, guys, RayJay knows the connections on how to get the big C, okay? This is just the truth, but allegedly, RayJay knows the connects on how to get the C. Now, don't get it twisted. In Hollywood, these celebrities can go to their producer and get the big C. Okay, it's just certain kind of big C's that they like. If you guys can catch my drift, I'm speaking in codes. Okay, they want certain kind of coke. Okay, but anyway, guys. So Wendy Williams is 56, and as we know, RayJay is 40 years old. RayJay needs to go and check on him and Brandy's mother. If they even still have a good relationship, I am not sure. But it could be a number of things, guys. You know, RayJay needs some couple of thousands. You know, RayJay has took it to the step that where he's doing Big O to make money. RayJay has not had a play in Hollywood in I don't know how long. Because after Whitney Houston died, RayJay came out and was telling people that the tabloids, all kind of tabloids, wanted to do sit-down interviews with him. They were offering him millions and millions of dollars. He refused to have any interviews with them, and he didn't want to tell them anything that happened because he didn't want anything to get out. They were begging him, and this is what he said, to tell him about all of the secrets between him and Whitney. And he refused to tell. So if he did anything such as a blood sacrifice, although there was some rituals that went down that day, allegedly, and we're going to get into that in a second. If RayJay did anything for anybody to help Whitney Houston stop breathing, RayJay would not be on Big O trying to make an income, okay? Because he wouldn't need to. But if you guys just look around and pay attention, RayJay is really not in the Hollywood scene anymore. He may be around people that are still in the scene. However, he's looking for a little piece of breadcrumbs from them, hoping they'll drop him some breadcrumbs on the ground. Okay, so let's go and get into Whitney. But don't be surprised if something weird goes down with Wendy Williams. Take a look at this, guys. This is very important, and this is a clue that everybody missed. I know you can't see her other hand. Whitney was right-handed. And I'm not sure who this young lady is she's sitting with. And this picture was not taken just to be taken at this particular moment. I'm just going to go off of this picture because this is the picture when she appeared to be wet, but she wasn't that wet. So I'm going to just say this is the picture when she left the club. And she appeared to have scratches on her legs, but however, she got up and sang a song with the singer Kelly Price. And I thought that was very beautiful because that would be the last time Kelly Price would see Whitney Houston alive. And that is so sad because no one, and I mean no one, that night knew that that was going to happen. But I believe in my heart that some people actually knew that that was going to be her last night, including Whitney Houston herself. Once again, this is all alleged. Anyway, back to this photo. Look very closely. If you guys can look and see, Whitney Houston does not appear to be out of her element. She does not appear to be drunk or high off any drugs. I know we're looking at a picture. Do you know what Whitney Houston is doing right there? A lot of people can make their own decisions and conclusions and say what she's doing. Somebody can say, oh, that's a top. She's rolling a joint. No, she's writing something. She's writing. My opinion, the room was staged. Everything was placed where it was supposed to have been placed to make it look like it was an accident. I told you guys, they do these things and make it seem like accidents. Someone was pulling Whitney. They was pulling on her, trying to assault her. This is why her legs were scratched up. They were minor scratches. She wrote Brandy the letter. RayJay was fucking stalking Whitney. And I believe he's about to do the same thing to Wendy Williams. All of a sudden, he is inviting her to brunch. Get the fuck out of here. Why isn't he inviting his ex-wife or his baby mama to brunch to try to reconcile things? They don't have any money for RayJay. Whitney could have gave him some money. Wendy could have gave him some money. Look, y'all. RayJay can't go home and ask his mama for no money. RayJay cannot ask Brandy for nothing. They don't even have a relationship. Brandy knows that RayJay did something to Whitney, guys. And this is all alleged. But just look at the details. Look at the details. Why is he in Wendy Williams' face? He know nobody wants her. And she even tried to get attention from the brat, so now he stepped up. Have you guys noticed right after the interview with the brat, her and Wendy had their words? And I guess Wendy was trying to flirt with Debrat, and Debrat was not having that. And then boom, here comes RayJay. Not even less than a couple of hours, 24 hours after that interview, guys, if you go and look it up, the interview that Debrat and Wendy Williams had, RayJay popped up out of nowhere. Guys, if you go and get you a Big O account, RayJay has an account on Big O. He has went that low, yes. Anytime a celebrity, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing because I heard they can make good money on there. But come on now, he's RayJay, right? You would think Brandy's brother RayJay on the Hollywood scene. He's doing Big O for a living. That's all you can do. You're not getting any roles in any movies. You're not making any singles. You're not featured on any rappers, all these songs that's out. You can't get a hook on any song. I'm just saying, y'all, I'm not throwing no shade. Okay, so he's stepping out with Wendy Williams. And now he's stepping out with her, but he's stepping back. He's trying to get back into the limelight. This is going to help him get some promotion. But with Whitney Houston, this was totally different. In my opinion, he was stalking her. He attacked her. He attacked her. Things went wrong. Other people had to come in and help clean things up and you know, stage the scene. Okay? I do believe it was an accident, nothing intentional. And we'll get into that more later. Now check this out, guys. So if you looked at the picture that popped up before this one, you can see on there, Whitney Houston had those little scrapes and stuff on her legs. I will put that picture up as well. You've seen her face. She didn't have any scratch on her face. This is her autopsy. Someone scratched Whitney over her eyebrow and on the side of her eyebrow. She has abrasions on the top of her shoulder. You can see where these cuts and, these are like little abrasions. They're all abrasions and bruises. She has a scar on her wrist. She has a scar on her arm. She has scars on her chest. Someone was trying to rough her up and grab her. Now, they're saying that the drug dealers came to the hotel and they were trying to attack Whitney and they eventually killed her. That is not true. Well, in my opinion, because if you owe drug dealers money, baby, they're not going to scratch you. They're going to do more than scratch you on your body if you owe them some money for some drugs, okay? But if you can see her legs are scratched, the bottom part of her feet is scratched, this person is grabbing on her, and, you know, RayJay looks, to me, to be a scratcher. Like he likes to scratch you and hold you down and pull you and direct you where he wants you to go. This is my opinion. Now, do I believe that Whitney Houston was sacrificed at that hotel? There's a lot to delve into, and her story and her case can go in many directions. However, I am looking at what's going on now. See, everything speaks for itself. Sometimes things have to happen for other things that have already happened to come out to the light. The person needs to do something else, or they need to show the world that they have a pattern of something. And I'm just going off of what was sent to me. And this was the Wendy Williams and RayJay situation. We just talked about RayJay. RayJay knows that he does not like women. But one thing RayJay likes, guys, is money. Now, I want you guys to just study this Whitney Houston autopsy report, because I don't want to be dancing around. Now, they went into her toxicology and said that she had cocaine, she had metabolites, and I was wondering, why is Whitney taking metabolites, though? But that's another story. She had Xanax, she had Benadryl. Okay, she has substances in her body. However, they didn't care to say why she had more bruises on her body. She didn't have all these bruises. When they showed her in the club or whatever little spot she was at that night, she had a couple of scratches. Now, I'm not saying that you couldn't see that she, because she had clothes on, but I highly doubt if she had other bruises on her. These bruises were found after the fact, okay? She had a lot of broken skin, which means that somebody was pulling and tugging on her and trying to keep her, and she was trying to get away from that person. And therefore, yes, she was attacked. She was attacked profusely with all of these abrasions. Someone was trying to pull or push her. But you don't see that she had any black eyes. She didn't have any swelling about her face. There were just a lot of bruising and cuts. And this comes out as, this doesn't stick out to me like blood sacrifice, or this does not stick out to me as drug dealer coming to collect their money and killing someone in the process. They would either shoot you or stab you. They're going to kill you. They're going to let everybody know, that you were hit in your face, they hit you in the head, or they stabbed you. Okay, so this is another story for another day. I will delve deeper into Whitney Houston. I want to get all of the facts, but I'm just looking on the outside that how is everybody not talking about all of these abrasions on the outside of the body? And like I said, guys, that rabbit hole appears to go deeper because she had cocaine, metabolites, and Xanax and all of that, and Benadryl, and a beer, I guess they said at the scene, that all those things did not kill Whitney Houston. See, we didn't even get to what or who killed her, who caused her to stop breathing. And see, that's the thing. She stopped breathing. They said that those chemicals were found in her system, and I'm talking about the abrasions on the outside of her body. I haven't even gotten into what made her stop breathing. I do 100% believe that someone or some people did in fact want Whitney Houston to stop breathing that night. That is another video, guys. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.